So here we are on our last episode with Mandy, big bombshell. We had some tough contract negotiations that she turned down. We pay her with candy.
Yes.
And she demanded a 3-bag increase, and it's just something we couldn't afford.
Not in the budget.
No. Courtney was actually railing against that. She was mad about that too.
It's because I share with her.
So she is going off on bigger and better things and leaving us behind.
Mm-hmm. Sure am.
Sure am.
I'm just kidding. No. Nah.
So we are going to find a new co-host.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You want me to vet him for you?
Yeah.
All right.
Find somebody for me.
No, I won't be doing that.
Why not?
No.
Can you do that for us?
Yeah.
Can you do that
This
for
is kind
me?
of your problem. It's like I tell my kids, you made the problem. You got to fix it.
No, that's not how that one works. That only works if I was your kid.
That's terrible. Anyway, so it's been fun for, a year and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
we've
that.
done quite a few
It
of
has
these.
been fun.
And so you want to talk about what you're doing?
Sure.
All right.
I guess. I love to talk about me.
Yeah, we know.
I think I have been in this industry full time for, going on 8 years almost, something like that. And I got to this point. What are you doing? Oh. Ew.
Well, she's complaining about it.
Wait, I can hear it in my ear. I can hear just
Yeah, no, you got to get rid of that. Swallow it.
And I was like, who is chewing gum?
Now we have to start over.
Nope, we're talking about what you're doing.
What are you doing? Get your life together.
Wait a minute. Did you just swallow it?
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh, you're not
There's a
supposed
trash
to
can
do
right
that.
behind
Why?
Because your body doesn't digest it. How much
Yeah.
gum
I
wads
knew
do
that
you
was
have
coming.
living around in you?
That's not a real thing. That's just something parents tell their kids.
Oh, really?
Why?
Yes. The same thing they told us about, when we
light
grew
on
up,
in
it
the
was
car.
a different era, huh?
Yeah, like the light on in
Light
the car.
on the car.
You'll
Don't leave your light on the car.
Get arrested.
Get arrested.
Yeah, don't
You
swim
want me to
after
get
you
arrested?
eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was true. And then my
Yeah.
brother became a sheriff, and I was like, that's
Don't
not
go in the
true.
water after 30 minutes of eating. Yeah, that was
You
another
get
one.
the cramps.
Yeah, that's another lie.
That's a whole SpongeBob episode,
That's
though.
a lie?
That's where you're getting your fact checking with SpongeBob. We're fact checking with SpongeBob.
No, it's a
This
whole
episode's
episode.
already gone off the rails because we're fact checking with SpongeBob.
I like it. I respect it.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up now.
It was
I
not
gotta look it up.
Like, that was like Bible.
I was like, no way, that's not true. SpongeBob had that happen to him. But also, I will say, even as a kid, I never believed that you could get arrested with the light on in the car. I never believed that because I was like, well, then why would they put one in there? That doesn't make any sense. If it was against the law, no car would have that.
You know what else I really believe? Is that you shouldn't have, like, all cell phones and electronics have to be on airplane mode or turned off in an airplane. And then I was like, wow, that's really putting a lot of faith in humanity.
I also
that they're
believed-
going to follow the rules in order for us all not to go down.
Oh, I was on a flight and there was this girl literally like texting and on a phone call the entire flight, and I was like, I'm gonna die.
How did she do that?
I'm gonna die.
How'd
She
you
got
get
told
service?
she got told 3 times to like stop,
Yeah.
and she just like looked at them and then just kept going.
The
And I was
audacity.
like, I'm gonna die.
I'm
This
so
is
scared of
it.
flying
I'm
already.
gonna
I would have
die."
tackled a hoe. I would have been like, not today, Barbie. I am not going down because you can't stop sending text messages. No.
I was like, this is it. Now, I mean, I might as well text my mom now and say,
Yeah,
bye,
Mom,
bye,
I
love you.
Okay, what?
We also growing up felt like quicksand and being on fire was going to be a
Yeah.
lot more common. So,
Or
Like
like,
spontaneous combustion.
stop,
I
drop,
found that
and
out-
roll.
I
or
found that out
free
in middle
drugs.
school.
I was
Yeah.
like, ain't nobody giving you free drugs.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like in your Halloween candy or whatever.
We were
Oh,
also
no, not
told
like
to drink
that. I
milk
don't
because,
know.
milk does
Your
the body good.
bones.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
your bones. Yeah, because one day
Is
I'm
that
drinking
what-
milk.
Is that not true?
Not
That one's not
to that.
true?
Did you ever see those old commercials?
Yeah.
Where like the scrawny kids drinking
got
milk?
milk.
And I
Remember
keep
when they
drinking
used
milk.
to put the kids on the milk cartons too? They'd be like,
Yes,
I'm
the missing-
lost.
yeah.
Now they don't care. They're like,
missing
whatever,
kids.
another day, moving on.
Yeah. So yeah, we were told a lot of things and I've passed those on to my kids now.
This is why we all
you
have
gotta
trust
eat your
issues.
carrots to make your eyes
Your
pretty.
eyesight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking up this gum one though. That
Spinach,
boggles my
because of
mind.
Popeye. Spinach was a big one. Eat your spinach so you be
Ew.
strong like Popeye.
And the
Yeah,
Flintstone, like,
The Flintstone
Chalk
vitamins.
vitamins
Yeah.
that
yeah.
I used to love those.
they still
Yeah.
sell them. Did you know that? You can get them on Amazon.
You can still get the candy cigarettes. We had candy cigarettes like
We
at
did.
the grocery stores. It wasn't like a novelty you had to find on Amazon.
Did you have kids in high school smoking too?
Oh yeah.
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 Like legitimately.
Oh yeah.
There's like a whole like smoking section, but I mean it's not anymore. Now it's just where the seniors. It's a senior hangout, but it used to be the smoking section.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Could you imagine? Different
Okay,
times.
I'm looking up this dumb thing.
imagine candy cigarettes. Like really.
I
That was amazing.
know. I know.
Yeah. No.
What a time to be
Anyways,
alive.
back to what you were doing before.
I don't even know how to segue that.
I don't even know.
Naturally.
Awkward transition.
Oh my god. Okay.
You got candy cigarettes where you're going?
I hope so. Otherwise, I'm not going. I'll turn right back around. No. Yeah. No. I got to this point after all this time of really realizing how. Oh, she has to tell us about SpongeBob. Can we just start the whole thing over? I swear
No.
to God.
It's
All right,
not,
tell us what SpongeBob said.
It's not SpongeBob. This is for swallowing gum. So it's generally not harmful, but it the gum passed through the digestive system without being digested. Okay, hold on. Potential risks. In rare cases, swallowing large amounts of gum can cause a blockage, pretty much.
Who's swallowing
Especially
large amount?
in-
So what is a large amount?
Is it a whole can of like the bubble or hubba bubba?
Yeah, is it like
maybe.
there's no context there? Is it like a whole gumball machine there?
Actually, the most amazing. Like, where'd you grow up?
Oh,
at?
gum can also
Where did I
stick
grow
in
up?
other
Mostly,
objects in
or-
the digestive tract, such as coins and toys. What?
Well, you also shouldn't put those in the digestive
There's
tract.
more important things.
I grew up mostly in Wisconsin.
And Courtney grew up in New Kent, and I grew up in West Virginia.
Okay, so we're all a bunch of hillbillies.
So
basically.
in a time before Facebook, all the parents had the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about that.
There's got to be some truth to it then.
No, it's not. It's just something that parents made it up.
There's got to be some truth if it's going
things
around
you know when you
everywhere.
become
Also,
a
it's a
parent,
bunch
like, hey,
of
I
like
got a lot of
rednecks who are
parents, yeah.
uneducated. So I mean, they're just gonna.
But in completely different areas. Before Facebook,
Maybe it
so
was the
they
aliens.
all agree on the same.
Maybe
thing.
the aliens gave us that information to a lot of our kids,
just like the pyramids.
just like the pyramids. Yeah,
The pyramids are a lie.
aliens built them.
Yeah.
Did they?
I don't know.
I love an alien. I want them to be here so bad. I wholeheartedly believe that they're here,
love
but
an
I
alien.
want one like living in my house with me.
Like
I wanna play
American
Skip-Bo
Dad?
with an alien. That's my dream. Are you
Want to
kidding?
be like American Dad.
Yeah, and my kids are like, they go hard for an alien. Like they would immediately let an alien live in our house, no questions asked.
What is happening?
Anyways.
I appreciate that my last episode is this chaotic.
Yes.
I feel-
Well,
it
everybody
feels
should see
right.
what Hurricane Mandy is really like.
Yeah. I feel like they've seen it though. I don't think I hide it at all.
No, not even a little.
That's not really my brand.
No. So for the third time, where are you
For
going?
the third time. No. Yeah, I got to this point in my career where it was like, this industry, there's so many things that I love about it and so much that I've enjoyed, but as I've gone on and really gotten to look behind the scenes, and especially with teaching or just seeing all the different ways that people do things or how they're run, it was like this complete come to Jesus with myself of this industry is really, really broken. And you know that, and really toxic in a lot of ways. And there's a lot of things that need to change. And if you're participating in it and not offering change, are you part of the problem?
Yeah.
And so it became this moment of like, I really do want to create a different way, or at least try to, like go down trying. Right. So yeah, it was a shift into what do I value? What do I really care about? Where is my integrity in this? And how do I get really, really loud about that and try to impact change? And how do I help empower consumers to feel confident in their transactions and who they're hiring and how it's being run? Because the industry is so broken and consumers are so aware. Consumers know that this is really screwed up and that they are getting the short end of the stick, but there's no other option.
There's not.
So what do we do?
Yeah, you got two options, like the way we've been doing it, which like says very broken, or you do the other option, which is becoming the Zillow, Redfin, one-stop shop,
broken.
but still very broken because they don't even care about you on that side, right?
No.
I mean, at least on this side, you can find an agent who truly cares, right?
You can.
So that side is just a number and a payday for them and your data. So they can do other things with it. So those are really your two options, unless you choose to navigate it yourself.
Yep.
And while you can, I read an article fairly recently, a few months ago, and there was somebody who said that they've used an agent, they did it on their own. So they did both ways. And they said both ways, pros and cons to both. And the biggest thing with doing it on your own, they said that is a time commitment. Like if you say, fortunately, I had the time to invest to do the contracts and read the things and do the coordinating and the home inspections and do all the stuff that's required to do. But
were they a buyer or a seller?
They were, I think they were a seller.
They were likely a seller.
On their own. Yeah. Yep. So they did all the stuff, the analysis and how to price it and all that stuff on their own, but they were very, very time consuming.
Yep.
So, that's really the only option. But unfortunately, most people that do for sale by owner, they don't have the time, nor do they approach it like they should. And that's where you get the whole, you left $50,000 on the table kind of thing.
You do. And I think the other thing that I have seen from for sale by owners, from my perspective, right, as an agent, is that for sale by owners love to say that they're doing it on their own. And I can admire wanting to do it on your own and wanting to save money and all of that. They lean heavily, though, on the agent for the buy side.
Oh, for sure.
And that gets frustrating because it's like, oh, it was so easy. And it was like, it was easy because you had a trained professional holding your freaking hand and telling you, like, no, you can't do that. And they're like, why not? Because this happens. And they're like, oh, okay, fine. Then I'll agree to this. And it's like, did you really do it on your own? Or did you have somebody holding your hand that you, like...
Or they have a friend that's an agent and they keep stealing.
And you keep coming. Like, that happens to me all
advice,
the time.
Right? And we've done a couple where there was no agent involved at all. And then we started getting questions. It's like, I don't know.
They're asking everybody. They're up on Reddit or something. And you're like, wait.
So what do we do with this?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Talk to an agent.
That is.
Call an attorney. Do something, but don't call me.
Do something. Yes. Like, then you're just grasping at straws and it can turn bad quickly. So... And I think it does put a lot of pressure on the buyer's agent, too, of like, I don't represent you, but I represent my client. And how do I represent them to the best of my ability and get them what they want without, like, telling you that you're kind of being an idiot
without
and
dropping
you have to do it this way.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, my God. Yeah. Like, I can't give you advice legally, and I can't represent you, and I can't really tell you anything, but you're doing it wrong, so could you stop? Like, it can get really messy. And then it's like, then you just have people... fronting that they did it and it was no big deal, and it's like, okay, sure, if that's your story, great.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are the anomaly there, and they're the one who they got it. They did it all by themselves. There was not even a buyer's agent. They weren't up on Reddit. They weren't asking a home inspector or anyone at all. They just knew how to do it. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I doubt it, but maybe.
Maybe. If the stars align.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about it over the last year and a half, but what are some of the things that you are identifying as broken in the system or in the industry that you're wanting to try to change?
I think the biggest one and the biggest shift that we've seen, and the one that is just gaining momentum at warp speed, is we have taken an industry that used to be about you had to have knowledge and skill set and a work ethic and training, an immense amount of training and requirements, and your paperwork had to be tight and all of that. And then the barrier of entry was low enough that it started getting flooded, and we created a pay-to-play world within this industry where any old agent can come in, get a license, and then if they're willing to give up 70%, they're willing to pay a 70% premium of a check, let's say, just for a number to throw out there. If they're willing to pay that, they're willing to pay this immense premium to get some business and churn and burn fast enough, then they can go out there through social media, be very, very loud that they do so much business and they're closing so much. And that tricks consumers into thinking that equals experience or know-how or training or education, or that they're protected if they work with this person, when in reality, you're looking at somebody who is churning and burning, going way too fast. So there is no time for training.
Mm-hmm.
There is no time for education. And they're paying a super high premium, taking a tiny amount of a check before taxes, before their insurance, before their, their maintenance on their vehicle, their gas, their time, any of the association fees, right? So you're taking somebody who is representing you, who is also going way too fast behind the scenes, who lacks training, who lacks know-how, and they're not even making that much money. The person who has a lot of skin in the game and who's making a lot of money off of this isn't even the person in your corner. So it's like, how do you expect somebody to get paid a very small amount to work for you for 6 months, 2 years, when they're making the tiniest amount of money? Yeah. Why would they care? But the consumer's standing there saying, I don't give a crap who's getting paid what. I'm paying this, and this is a lot. And it is. And they're right. Yeah. And so I've looked at this from the outside and also the inside and also behind the curtain. And I'm as mad as the consumer is because they're right. This industry is screwed up. They are not being taken care of. They are not being protected. They are not getting what they're paid for. Sure. So I'd be mad too.
Yeah, no, I mean, all those are valid points because, I get the, how do you get so jaded so fast? and we've talked about, again, we work with a lot of agents. We work with a lot of amazing agents. Yeah. And we get a lot of referrals to a lot of amazing agents. And those aren't the ones we're talking about. No. But, I often say, like, the best analysis is, we get that agent who says, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've never seen this. Okay. And I've always said that, all right, well, you take the average agent over the course of 20 years on how many deals they do, and we're going to do that many home inspections in a month. Yep. Right. So we're this is what we see. Right. And the amount of, again, we're going to do a ton of inspections this year. We've already matched last year's total, right? And we still got a whole quarter left.
Yeah.
And so that gives us a perspective because of how much we deal with this.
Yes.
And we deal with this because it's exhausting for us. It's infuriating for us. Right?
I would imagine.
Even just hearing the stories because we're not directly involved. But when you go back, and 2 years ago, like last January of 24, first quarter anyways, like I did 3 or 4 inspections where I showed up and the deal had already fallen through once. This was the second buyer. The sales side said they had the home inspection done, but that's not why the deal failed. And that there's nothing on the report, but didn't want to share the report. And I come out of the crawl space and each one of them was starting at $20,000 worth of problems.
And they didn't disclose that.
Did not disclose that. So you wasted, and every one of those deals, they terminated and walked away because of that. Yep. Because you can't tell me you didn't know. And you wasted a client's time and money, right? Mm-hmm. Because they paid for my services and they're going to pay for my services again. Yep. And the agents, again, starting to clock over because they don't get paid till closing, right? And now the client's frustrated because they're out money, right? On something that everybody knew but them. Mm-hmm. And it's infuriating because you're wasting people's time and money, right? So it very much is an issue that needs to be addressed. And like I said, and it's not always the newest agent that's doing it. It's you can just go ahead and put your graph from 0 years of experience to 30, and you can put dots all the way along it.
And you know what I will say, honest to God. So I've taught contracts, forms, and ethics for about 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. The last 3 years of my career. It is my belief that at this point, I think it's almost less risky to hire a brand new baby agent than it can be to hire an agent who is experienced, because the brand new baby agent is expected to be training and up to things, or they're curious, they're wanting to learn, they're wanting to watch their back, they're wanting to make sure that they're being careful, they're asking for help, they're asking the right questions, they're working really, really hard. Mm-hmm. So I actually think if I was a consumer, knowing what I know about this industry from behind the scenes, I think I would feel a little less at risk with a brand new baby agent with a whole team behind them than I would with somebody who's out here churning and burning. people and lacking education and not putting in training.
100%. You know, we back when we were doing walk and talks, as much as I don't like them, you know,
My favorite thing.
Yes, you know, I showed up to do one, and the agent, 20 years experience, because they told me.
Of course, they told you.
Told me what they wanted me to do, and I told them I cannot do that on this type of service because we can't call it inspections, right?
Did they want the panel off?
They wanted the panel off. They wanted some other things done, and I said I can't do that. This is a showing, and they're arguing with me in front of their clients about how this is a showing inspection, which isn't a thing.
No.
And that I can do all those things, and I, you know, again, doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Like, you're telling me how to do my job.
And if you've been doing it for that long, then you should know your purchase agreement like the back of your hand, and you would know that the inspection paragraph takes up an entire page of that 10-page document, in which one of which is giving permission for inspections. and everybody has to sign off. So if they haven't, that's
that
not
was
how that
a
works.
new service that was only, you know, a year and a half old at that point, and nobody knew what it was. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, we're sitting there having this argument to where, and going back to your point, you know, the new agent will be like, well, what can you do?
100%.
And I've had that conversation.
And they would ask the professional who would know,
Yeah.
instead of thinking they're the professional.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we run into a lot of issues. Yeah. Just because you've done it for a long time does not mean that you're the expert.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's just like when I get the whole, well, you know, that's not a defect because we can't negotiate it.
Doesn't mean it's not a defect.
That just means you can't negotiate it.
It means it doesn't fall in line with the defect that is defined by your contract. But
exactly.
It doesn't mean this is a blanket, like, these are my rules, so they're your rules too.
Right.
No,
right.
That's not how life works.
That's why we're separated. That's why we have different boards, different governing bodies, different sets of laws, and different sections, right?
Yep.
So yeah, it's very, very broken all the way across.
It is. And I'm sick of not talking about that. And I can't imagine how frustrating it has to be from the consumer side of things too. Like, I can, because it's easy to pay attention. Consumers are getting more and more loud, and they should, about their experience and how screwed up this is, and how, like, this isn't working for them, and how they don't feel protected, and how they feel like they're doling out huge amounts of money to get nothing in return. The value isn't there, right? And they're right. And so now it's a matter of, okay, as somebody who's actually been in it, and I understand your frustration is valid. Here's my frustration with it too. And here's what you should know. And I think I am A-okay with getting very loud about, you're right, it's broken. I'm really sorry, but it's way more broken than you think it is too. And let's talk about that. And then let's also figure out, how do I give you another option? How do I create a different path for consumers that is actually client-centric, where you actually are getting value, where you actually feel like you're getting what you pay for?
Yeah.
And then create a situation where, sure, you can go this standard route, or you can do this. You could be for sale by owner. You have all these options, or you have a new option that still costs you the same amount, but protects you a hell of a lot more. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. And I would love to see you kind of expand on this, right? I would love for it to see it take off and kind of change it, the industry for the better. You know, because again, everybody is frustrated. You know, from realtors are frustrated, inspectors are frustrated, title companies, loan companies,
every vendor,
and the consumer. Like, everybody is just frustrated with where we are and how we got here, you know, because this isn't what this was supposed to be. Right?
No.
And I think one of the biggest issues that we've talked about several times is that we've glamorized this industry, right? We've brought it up to a Hollywood-like level, you know, and it's not, right? Like, we work with a lot of the top 500 agents in Richmond, a lot of them, and the best ones we work with, you couldn't pick them out of a lineup. Right? Because they're really good at what they do. They're some of the best at what they do. They do some of the most transactions every year. And they do it quietly. Right? And I don't mean quietly like you don't ever see them. I mean, they do marketing and stuff like that, but it's not this over-the-top productions and you know, posting their 19 awards they get. all the time, and they just don't do that. You know, it's a business to them. They treat it as a business like everybody else treats, just like owning a bank or a restaurant or anything else, right? It's not about the red carpet walks and the photo shoots and all that stuff. And like, look, I'm not telling you how to do your thing. I'm just saying that has caused a problem in the industry.
100%. Right? And I think, I was in this meeting where I got asked, why do you think we have this industry where people don't value education or training or know-how? And I said, because you gave them zero reason to value it. Yeah. You showed up, created a system in which you told them, we value money. We value how much money you can bring to this brokerage, no matter what. No matter what, that is what we value. We would love to see that. We want to help you grow your business so that we can get more money. But you never valued education, training, forced them to have that. You didn't have policies. It is now, like, for context for consumers, if anybody is watching this, like, it is 2025, and we are just now, I am just now seeing multiple brokerages and companies putting policies in place that agents don't get paid unless their paperwork is correct, in line, all turned in, unless the entire closing package is correct. They're withholding checks. Yeah. Why have we not always been doing that? That's horrifying. That's pathetic.
Because the industry is oversaturated with brokerages. Yep. So the fear is I'm losing my money because I'm enforcing rules that the other guy isn't. Yep. And that's what it is.
You have prioritized money over.
I had a conversation with the whole lawsuit thing that I said I felt like at one point the industry was going to go to at least some of it a concierge type service, a la carte type service, right? Yep. And I was told no, that's against NAR's code of ethics. Like, you can't do that. And I said, and my point is always values and ethics change when money stops coming in. And we see it time and time again.
Also, how is it against the code of ethics?
I don't know. I'm not a realtor.
I disagree with that statement.
But at the end of the day, the point is, like, all these companies talk about values and morals and what they do and all this other stuff until the money stops coming in, and then they 100%. Change. And you see that, and that's a big problem. So how do we get here? That's how we got here. Like, it's you watch pro sports and you'll see the troubled athlete who gets chance after chance after chance, while the next troubled athlete doesn't, because one's a superstar and one is just the last man on the roster, right? Mm-hmm. So the superstar gets a lot more grace and a lot more opportunities, and if he gets cut from that team, there'll be 10 more lining up. You can look at Deshaun Watson and how that happened, right? Mm-hmm. Record-breaking contract despite what happened, right? And the first team was willing to deal with the headaches till they couldn't do it anymore. And then another team swooped in and said, we will. Yep. And it's the same thing with any business, any organization that is a juice worth the squeeze. Yeah. Right. And if it is, great. But this is where we lead. This is how we get to where we are.
And the thing that irks me about that mentality, though, is that I don't feel like sports is one thing, right? Mm-hmm. You're providing entertainment. Mm-hmm. You're getting people to buy a ticket to watch you throw around a ball. Like, that's all fine and good. Real estate, in my opinion, should not be the industry where it's just like smoke and mirrors. Yeah. I don't think at all that real estate should be viewed as a sales position. We've talked about this. Mm-hmm. This is my greatest pet peeve. I think that's a disgusting way to look at it. Yeah. When you tell people that you have a sales position and your job is to sell, of course they're going to be focused on money instead of being good at their job. And there is no ignoring that. And then you have consumers feeling like, well, you're just chasing a check. And it's like, well, yeah, that's what they told me to do. Yep. So what do you think? Like, we have such a broken system where, in my opinion, the way that I've always viewed it is, I'm not throwing around a ball. I'm trying to protect you. Yeah. That is my job. That's what you hired me for. But if people don't have that mentality, if they're like, well, I just got to produce and I got to get deals and I got to have closings and whatever so that I can post it on social media, but they don't actually have the drive or the need or the pressure to actually protect their clients, and they don't. and ask me how I know because they're not protecting, and brokerages will just employ legal teams to hopefully clean up the mess behind the scenes to the best of their ability. But they won't ever look that agent in the eye and say, hey, you screwed up. This can't happen again.
Yeah.
If you do this again, you will lose your job. You will not work here. They don't do that.
Between that and just the lack of avenues for consumers to do anything about it.
100%.
Because
there's no accountability.
There isn't, because the process takes forever. The legal process takes forever, and it's stupid expensive that nobody wants to do it.
Yep.
And then the other process of reporting them to associations and boards and stuff like that, not that it takes forever, and there can be repercussions to that, but only so much, right? I mean, at some point, the agent can have their license taken away, but first couple times it's just going to be fines. And then if you go to the board, I hate to say it, but we investigated ourselves and we found nothing wrong, right?
And it takes months.
Months. And I had a client recently try to do that. And when they sent me the forms that was required to even file it, they're like, packet. Screw this. Like, what am I doing? This is ridiculous.
And even if you fill all that out, do you know that they're going to tell you get an email in 6 to 12 weeks, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Meanwhile, the client had over $100,000 worth of issues in the house because the realtor recommended the home inspector that they were really good friends with. Nothing wrong with that, but the home inspector did a 13-page report and wrote up 7 things.
Yep, and that is my other beef with this industry is it was supposed to be, we got into this issue, right, where people were just paying to be the go-to, like those relationships formed, and our industry had to course correct on that. But now we're just doing the same thing, just sneakier, and I don't like that. And I think we're not empowering consumers to even know what's going on. They don't even know what's wrong. They don't even know that their agent has no freaking clue.
Yeah.
And then you have all these mega billionaire companies who are just like, well, we'll give you an agent. We'll give you an agent. Here, click this. Whoever can do this faster. But it's like, do you know them? They could be an idiot. Like, you trust them to open the door, but do you actually trust them to write your contract? Do you actually trust them to protect you? And that's where I want to see the change, is that clients and consumers have been very, very loud about we don't feel protected. And so people are saying things like, we'll just hire an attorney to handle your transaction. What they're saying behind that is, I want somebody that I feel confident actually knows what they're doing with my paperwork and is going to protect me and going to look this over. They're trained in negotiation. Yeah. They know what they're doing, and I believe that they know what they're doing because they have training and education behind them. Yeah. The kicker about that, though, an attorney will 100% be able to look over those contracts, understand them, negotiate them, fill them out. They can do that. An attorney is not going to do what a realtor does. Yeah. So what we have now, and this is where I want to change it, is we have brokerages and realtors who put attorneys on retainer in case shit hits the fan. Sure. I think it should be the opposite. I think that attorneys should employ realtors to do the realtor side, and the attorneys and the paralegals handle the paperwork. Because then it is guaranteed that these documents are upheld, that they are negotiated, that they are from trained professionals. Because sure, you could say, all right, hire an attorney to handle your transaction. Yeah. Do you think an attorney is going to open a door for you 52 times? Do you think they're going to show up to your home inspection? Do you think they're going to hold your hand? Do you think they're going to give you Popeyes and photos with Santa and a closing gift? No. Yeah. And if they did, it's going to cost you $400 an hour. So is that fun? Like, does that work? Right. But instead, you've got these brokerages and agents hoping that like they can skate by and not screw up bad enough or not get called out, which most of the time they can get away with. Sure. And then on the off chance that they have to like employ their legal teams, then they'll clean up the mess. Yeah. If it gets too gnarly, then we'll have an attorney step in for you. Which still... at the cost of the seller or the buyer. Yeah. So like, how does that help you? And it's still without any punitive damages to the realtor because the broker is the one paying the documents tab on the lawyer. Mm-hmm. Because they're the ones. And that's where I find brokerages fascinating with this. It's like, you're the one. Yeah. My documents are with the brokerage. Yeah. They're not with me. I'm an authorized agent, right? So like I'm on there, but really those contracts and those agreements are with the brokerages. Yeah. So if I owned a brokerage, you better have your shit together because it's my ass on the line, right? That's how it should be. But yet it's not because the agent is the one giving the broker money. Like, can you see how this is so convoluted and how this gets so toxic and how so much debauchery is allowed because of the way that it exists right now. And it is not client focused. And that's disgusting because the client is the one footing the bill.
100%.
How does that work?
100%. And that's why I like our model, because we get an agreement with the client pays us, we do our service. Don't care what anybody else says, right? We're here for the client.
Yep.
We've had an agent ask us, so who do you write your report for? The client.
The person paying for the service.
It's become really easy just to go ahead and, again, not that we don't collaborate, but it's become very easy just to be like, I work for the client.
Yes.
Like the client, we every now and then in our area is pretty common. Even though we say that the report is for the buyer only unless we get permission, in our area it's very, very standard practice for us to release the report to the buyer's agent too, right? It's kind of a given. But we've had buyers say, don't send it to my agent. And we've had the agents say, where's the report? I was told not to send to you. Well, I need it. You need to talk to the buyer.
Yeah, it's theirs. It's their property.
Yeah, that's our client. Like, you're not our client. So we're not governed through this fear of where's the money at.
Yes.
Right. This is why I don't, it's starting to become a thing, but I'm not going to do it, which is pay at closing. Now ours is different because the processes is that the processor is the one that's taking the liability, not us. We still get paid through our processor if we were to do it. And then the processor has to track down the money if the house doesn't close, but at the same time, that's why we don't get paid at closing. Right. So there's this threat of where's the money at, and then, like you said, it's all money driven.
It is. And I can't sit around and pretend like that's not a thing. And I can't shut up about it anymore because it is not fair to the consumer. Yeah. They are paying for a service. They are paying and hiring somebody that they think knows what they're doing, that they think is trained and educated. And then they're not getting that. And so, I'd be pissed too. That's a lot of money being exchanged and a lot of faith in somebody who can't even prove that they know what they're doing. Or also, this is a little bit of my frustration from the consumer side, right? This is where I'll put a little accountability on them, is you should be interviewing. You should be asking them very pointed questions. You should know before you hire this person for thousands of dollars that they know what they're doing, that they will protect you. It is not about who's giving you the best closing gift, who's getting you photos with Santa or Popeyes or, squirrels games or whatever, right? Like, those things are great and they're fun. Yeah. But that's not actually what you need, and that's not what you're paying for.
Sure.
So, and again, there are agents here locally that are good agents who are well trained and educated, who are also willing to play that game and do all that crap, right? And I think that's great. That's awesome. And it makes their clients so happy.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's okay to hide behind that. And I don't think it's okay that you can just pay a really, really high premium and then go out and boast to everybody that you're something that you're not.
I think that's what really needs to happen. I joke all the time. I say, I spend my days in crawl spaces. That's what I do, right? It's not that it's not serious work, but we're not developing a cure for cancer. Right. So I think the industry takes itself way too seriously. And
not seriously enough simultaneously.
At the same time, yes. So I guess, great point. And basically the focus is in the wrong areas.
Yes.
It's like we need to realize what we truly do. And it doesn't rise to the level of Hollywood award ceremonies and all the things that's, this has turned into. It's a job just like anything else. Doesn't mean you're not passionate about it. Doesn't mean you don't care about it. But it also means that, like, hey, you're a realtor. I'm a home inspector, right? Let's call it what it is.
Do your job and do it well.
Just let's stick with that.
Yep.
Let's get back to that. We're
100%.
not. If you want to go off and be an influencer and make money, cool. Like, I ain't mad about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. There's a home inspector making $20,000 a month through TikTok videos. That's cool. Like, I ain't mad about that.
I'm not either.
But
no.
just don't pretend that that's what the industry is, though.
Yeah. And I will say, too, I think everybody, especially that's one of the things I love about this industry is everybody gets to run their business how they want and what you want to do with it, right? If you want to do those client events and all that stuff, I think that's so rad. Like, great. My only ask is that you're a professional and that you're well-trained and that you care about that.
You take everything else, the job as seriously as you take.
First and foremost, you are very, very good at what you do. Yeah. And then the rest of it is just fluff. That's awesome.
It's no different than the person, I've been doing it for 6 months, I'm going to start a coaching business.
Yep. That's
you
where
need to nail
lose
down
respect.
your job first before you worry about all these other things.
And you can't stop. A lot of what I see too is they'll train really, really hard or sporadically maybe. And it's like, you can't do that. You can't just like, you know, I was a student of the market for 3 years. It's like, okay, you've been doing it for 22 years. Where'd you go? Like, hello, you have to stay up on this. And I lose a lot of respect for people who get in and think that they know everything all of a sudden. Because the one thing I do know about this industry is it shifts daily, weekly, monthly. Like it is always changing. It is always evolving. Even our forms and our contracts change. So you need to stay up on that. Yeah. Otherwise, you're not really a professional.
We've seen that quite a bit with the termite reporting form. You know, it gets brought up a lot on how it gets reported. And I don't know how many times I've heard our good friend Jeff say, what version of the form are you using?
Yep.
You know, and then they look at, this was from this day. It's like, all right, well, we changed it about 5 years ago now. So you're still even operating. So again, no, you're not a termite inspector, but you should be aware when forms are changing.
You should.
Because again, all this gets funneled through the agent to the closing table. You know, and it has impacts. So no, you don't need to be a termite inspector. You don't need to be a home inspector, but you need to understand the industry and when big changes happen, like forms and documentation. So you can better advise and navigate and do all those things with your client. So definitely need to get back to client focused.
And I will say, like, this was my experience, and this was the turning point for me. Was I sat in a meeting where I was told to my face that I was the smartest agent in the office that I worked in, and if not, one of the smartest agents that person knew. And then my pay was reduced. That is the issue with this industry. Not because I'm not producing, not because I don't make them money, not because I'm not a great agent, not because I'm not the most highly trained, highly educated, most knowledgeable in my field, have experience under my belt full time, but that I wasn't making enough money. I wasn't out there trying to make $350,000 a year. That all of a sudden my worth and my pay, it didn't hold value. You have an entire industry where you told them very loud, I want you to go make money at all costs, no matter what. I think it's great that you're smart. I think it's great that you have experience. I think that you're the smartest, most trained, whatever. I think it's great that you care about that on the side, that's your hobby, but go make money. And then you wonder why the industry is broken. That's exactly why.
And it doesn't matter all the other things you do to offset that.
No.
It's scary.
All that,
isn't it?
All that.
Isn't that horrifying? What other industry do you look at somebody who has almost a decade of full-time experience, who teaches, who's the most highly trained or educated in their field, who's constantly trying to do that and better themselves? In what other industry do you look at somebody like that and then cut their pay? That doesn't happen.
Most industries, if you have somebody who's not producing, right, hitting the numbers.
And let me be very clear. I was hitting numbers. I was making good money.
Sure.
It's just, it wasn't buku bucks because I don't care. Like,
but you have that employee who knows more than everybody else, right?
Yeah.
They invest in themselves professionally.
Yes.
Most of the time, employers, and again, I know this is all 1099 and different,
right,
but most employers are like, you know what? You're not hitting the numbers.
But there's value there.
But there's value there. How about we promote you and put you in this position? You know?
Become like a trainer or something.
Yeah. Or maybe go and become over top of operations because you're so smart, right? You understand how all this operates and works.
Yep.
Like,
it usually equals a promotion or more pay, or that is valuable. There's value seen in that.
But
it doesn't go the other way. So that's where, I mean, it was my stomach sunk where I was like, what kind of messed up world do I live in? And what am I doing? Like this.
And meanwhile, you do see agents who are constantly causing problems through not knowing the contracts, how to fill out the forms, all that stuff. But because they're such high producers, again, they're willing to deal with those headaches and give them more money. Even though that money sometimes goes right back out in the forms of legal teams and EO claims, deductibles.
Yep. And this was the moment where I realized I have to create a different option for the consumer, and I have to create a different option for realtors. If I understand from a realtor perspective, you are going this fast and you're churning and burning because it's what they told you to do. It's what they told you to care about. You're not going to be able to slow down and do what I did and learn what I learned. But what you could do is pay me to do it for you. Yeah. And that's what a lot of realtors want. Yeah. They are not going to slow down and train. They are not going to study to the amount that I did. Right. They're not going to go out and get a paralegal certification, right? Or go to law school. Right. But they would hire somebody who did to make those problems go away.
And the other side of it is not just the turn and burn. It's also the like you're that busy because there's also a fear of what happens if, right?
You'll get your pay cut. Ask me how I know. Yeah. That's exactly what will happen. So they don't.
So because there is a constant narrative of fear being pushed of the next recession, the next housing crash. Mm-hmm. There's always the reminders of what happened in 2008, and what happened right when COVID happened when the rates went up, right? And how many agents talk about how they don't produce. So there's this constant fear, like if I don't go as fast as I can right now, tomorrow we could stop, and now then what do I do?
Well, and it's not even you're waiting for a crisis. It's that the way that our system typically works right now, your pay is affected yearly. Yeah. Based off of only your production. Yeah. So, if they don't produce to an insane amount, Sid, this isn't just like, we want you to make good money. No, good money, making six figures, not enough. No. We want multiple six figures out of you. Minimum. More, yes. And so, that's what they're afraid of because it's the moment that I faced where it was like, oh my God, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how professional or trained.
Not too long ago, saw her at the gym. And high producing agent, many, many years, right? Been doing this for a long time. And she told me, she's like, last year I didn't hit the numbers I normally hit. Yep. And she says, and you know what? For the first time, I was like, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. She says, I wasn't the top three producers in my office or for my brokerage. And I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. She said, it allowed me to do
to live
other things, and she's like, I'm okay with that. She said, I finally realized I don't have to do that year in and year out. Like it's okay to slow down.
But
and it
her
took
pay
her 20
will be affected.
plus years to figure that out.
Yeah. Or you will have to sacrifice, you'll have to go to a cloud brokerage sort of setup. Sure. And so again, this is kind of my crusade in life right now also is to create multiple avenues in which agents are supported based off of what their goals are, not what somebody told them their goals had to be, not what you have to hit in order to get paid this much of the money that you earned also for the record. Right. That's so screwed up. Yeah. I want to create an environment where you are highly trained and highly supported and highly educated, highly professional, but you tell me how much money you want to make. Yeah. If you only need to make $75,000 a year, great. How do I support you in that? If you want to make $700,000 a year, hell yeah, let's do that. Yeah. But to try to put everybody in one funnel is so screwed up. Yeah. And it's not helping. It's not fixing anything. It's making it worse.
It really is.
As somebody who's never bought a house or has dealt with that, hearing this, I'm like, it's do I even want an agent? Obviously I do, but then
that is 100% my point. That is the antithesis of what clients and consumers are saying very loudly. That it is, because what the hell?
Because it just sounds like it's all money,
It is.
And I'm like, I don't, if you ain't gonna I don't want to get a shitty house just because you got to make your
just
numbers.
because you're chasing a check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No.
I want a house that I want.
That's my point.
Yeah.
This is why real estate should not be sales driven.
No.
It shouldn't. It should be about protecting the client in their largest financial transaction that most people will ever make. It is consulting. It is not
It
sales.
is. It's 100% consulting. And you see, we've talked about it, and we've talked about it about, number one seller in volume, and I sold this much real estate, and
It's all they talk
all
about.
that thing. So it is. But yeah, it is. And then it turn around and get mad at, I do more than just open doors. I'm not going to disagree with you, but that's what you've put out there, right? That this is sales and sales only, and there's nothing else behind it.
Yeah, and then you become numb to those big numbers that are,
It's
because you're
never
working
enough.
with that.
I remember when I hit my biggest year and I was so excited and I went into my yearly review and they were like, wow, congratulations. You had a great year. You really killed it. And I was like, thank you. And then they're like,
let's do better
"So
next year."
What's for next year? Yeah. And I was like, I had been climbing. And I hit this point where I was like, oh my God, I've hit numbers I didn't think I would ever hit. Are you kidding? Like I was raised Mormon. I wasn't even supposed to have a job. Are you serious? But like, I just remember like, I felt so like, whoa, I hit this goal and it was my goal and it was big and it was not enough. And it was like,
and it never will be.
it will never be enough. And how screwed up is that?
Yeah.
And that's, and as like I said before, and that's something that's like, how am I supposed to trust you now?
Bingo. That is 100% exactly why it like gives me goosebumps. It is the exact fire and passion behind having to change this. I have to give people a different option. They have to know that you're protected and that you can trust me and that I will still do all the other crap or give you somebody to do all the other fun stuff. But you have to have another option because this is not for you.
I don't want to buy a house anymore. Sorry. Guys.
Sorry to whoever her
Sorry,
future
guys.
realtor was, but it was like, this isn't working for the consumer and they're the one footing the bill. That's gross.
Yeah.
I can't be a part of that anymore.
100%. Well, this was a great episode.
I might have ticked a lot of people off, but I don't care. That statement right there is the reason that I want things to be different.
Well, I mean, again, we talk about a lot of things on here, and it can be viewed as all the negatives. But honestly, like I've always said, like if you're offended by anything we say, then there's a chances are you were never going to use us as a home inspection company anyways.
Yeah.
Because of how we operate and do things. I'm just telling you how we do it and save everybody trouble. We work with a lot of great agents. We want. And again, we've talked about the dumpster fire that is the inspection industry too.
Yep.
Like we got a lot of issues, in our industry, centered around the same thing. Not so much the glamorizing of it, but just the lack of personal and professional development that each inspector refuses to do on their own.
And the integrity. That is something that I want to hit on very hard for your business, for so many businesses within our industry that I don't think people realize or prioritize anymore. And when I see people offended by what is said, if it's in line with integrity, I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't like it. If it's true and it's filled with character and integrity and you don't like it because it makes your life harder, I don't care. Yeah.
And honestly, again, every agent that I talk to about this stuff, they all agree.
Yep.
They all want to change. They all know that there's
the
a
good
problem.
ones,
Yeah. So like I said, if you get upset about it,
why? Ask yourself why.
Why? Because you should.
I feel like pray.
Yeah. Like you got to have
feel,
that come to Jesus with yourself of like, why does it bother me? That this is true and full of integrity.
You shouldn't want, because again, often talk about it. One of the most untrusted professions around, and realtors, real estate ranks up in the top 5, if not the top 3.
We're like next to politicians, which is so bad. That shows you how bad this is.
To make your industry better.
You should.
So if it hurts some feelings, it hurts some feelings.
Yep, that is where I'm at.
Well, with that being said, I'm sad that Mormon Mandy is leaving us.
Ex-Mormon Mandy. It was a journey that I was on that I am no longer on. But do I have gratitude for it? Sure.
But we will be sure to get you back on as you progress
I would love that.
So we can learn all the dirty little secrets that you see.
For sure.
And
maybe help with my fear now.
Yeah, I got you, baby.
Yeah, I don't pay for her
I will
therapy.
get you into a house safely. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm not paying for her therapy because of you.
Fair.
She tells her therapist that she has a fear of realtors now. Thanks to
She
Mandy.
should. She would not be
It's
wrong.
just enhanced it.
Yes.
So from this point on, we're going to be on a search for a new co-host. We're going to see what that looks like.
Yeah. You got to run some interviews or
Gotta
something.
run some interviews, absolutely.
Some speed dating rounds.
I
Like,
know.
all right, you get 5 minutes to record.
Yep.
See
What's
how
your
it goes.
thoughts on this? Yep. So, but anyways, appreciate it. Enjoyed it. Any last words?
No, it's been so much fun. I'm
much
grateful
fun.
to have been here,
Yeah.
and I will be back, I'm sure, at one
Oh, yeah.
point. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
can't shut up. Somebody gave me a mic long ago, and now I kind of like it. So.
That's right. Awesome.